Hello all. So in the last part, we learned a little bit about the childhood of King Karikaalan and how he was rescued by his uncle, how he was trained to become a great warrior. All this are explained by the poet to the bard whom he meets on the way. And he says that as valiant as the king is, he is generous as well. He compares the king's valiance to that of a yarli. Yarli is a mythological creature that resembles a lion, but it's much larger and it has the features of several other ferocious animals as well. It is said that a yarli, even as a cub, while still feeding from its mother, will be so ferocious that it can hunt down huge elephants. So he compares this cub of a yarli to Karikaalan, who was very brave at a very young age. So with that, we shall move ahead with the poem and see what more the poet has to say. ஆற்றுப்படுத்தும் பொருணன் தாழ்நிழல் மருங்கின் அணுகுபு குறுகி தொழுது முன் நெருக்குவீர் ஆயின் அழுது இன்று ஈற்று ஆவிருப்பின் போற்றுபு நோக்கி நும் கையது கேடா அளவை பொய்யென பாசிவேரின் மாசொடு குறைந்த துண்ணல் சிதா அர் நீக்கி தூய கொட்டை கரைய பட்டுடை நல்கி பெருள் அருங்கலத்தில் பொட்டாங்கு உண்க என ஊக்கமிழ் தேரல் வாக்குபு தர தர வைக்கல் வைக்கல் கைகவி பொருகி ஏரி அகைந்தன்ன ஏடுயில் தாமரை சுரீரும் பித்தை பொலிய சூட்டி நூலின் வலவா நுணங்கு அரில் மாலை வாலொளி முத்தமொடு பாடினி அணிய கோட்டின் செய்த கொடுஞ்சி நெடுந்தேர் ஊட்டு உளை துயல் வர ஓரி நுடுங்க பால் புரைப்புறவி நால்குடன் பூட்டி காலின் ஏழ் அடிப்பின் சென்று கோலின் தாறு களைந்து ஏறு என்று ஏற்றி வீறு பெரு பேர்யாழ் முறையளி கழிப்பி நீர்வாய் தன் பனை தளிய தளரா இருக்கை நன்பல் ஊர நாட்டோடு நன்பல் வேறுருப்பறை நுவலும் பருவு பெருந்தடக்கை வேறு வரு செலவின் வெகுளி வேளம் தரவு இடை தங்கள் ஓவிலனே வரவிடை பெற்றவை பிறர் பிறர்க்கு ஆர்த்தி தெற்றென்ன செலவு கடை கூட்டுதிர் ஆயின் பல புலந்து நில்லா உலகத்த நிலைமை தூக்கி செல்க என விடுகவன் அல்லன். Here the poet summarizes and reminds the bard of what he is to expect from the king. What sort of entry, what sort of welcoming, and what are the gifts that he might get from the king. So he is summarizing the whole event so that they will be prepared to face whatever is to come. The guiding bard. As you stand by his feet under his kind shade, stay and beseech and let your distress fade. Like a cow's cooling gaze at its new young calf, sooner than you showcase your skills even half. Like the spread of moss on dirt with very little space, left to be patched, your rags be replaced with pure silk that's new with knots and lace, gold and silver wares for you to eat from, redolent floral wine served again to foam, every day as you try to evade, but relish, as the golden lotus glowing bright is placed on your thick wavy hair that's tight, not by wools, but with gold the strands of garland, for your fair dazzling dame singer who by you stand. Those huge chariots with ivory carved, the swishing tufts of ponytails dyed, those whitest of horses fastened and tied. He steps back a foot and 7, took off gold as we climbed the elevation. He would send off with drums and horns blaring. Through his greenest farms with gushing water and fineries and riches of the land you will encounter. Fearsome pachyderms rose from trunks curvy, so intense as they walk with storms so fairy. Amongst the gifts showered by benevolence incarnate, all that you got, if desired to share, tell him of your desire to homeward fare. The sad self in the shifting world does not let you leave as his loving words unfold. Here, the poet says that the king would come out with a golden lotus for the chief of the bard. He will gift the ladies with lot of jewels and golden string garlands. And not enough with that, he will also gift them with chariots loaded with jewels and lot more gifts. The chariots with come along with white horses, and he will also give few of his elephants as gifts for them to carry homeward. The poet says that he can stay there as long as he wants to, but he must always remember to head back home. And while doing so, he should send word to the king so that he will send them off properly. Shall move ahead. சோழ நாட்டு வளம் ஒல்லென திரை பிறழிய இரும்பிளவர்த்து கரை சூழ்ந்த அகன் கிடக்கை மாமாவின் வயின்னெல் தாழ்தாளை தன் தண்டலை கூடு கெளிய குடிவைனான் செஞ்சோற்ற பலி மாந்திய கருங்காக்கை கவவு முனையின் மணிநொச்சி நிழல் ஆங்கன் ஈற்று யாமை தன் பார்ப்பு ஓம்பவும் இளையோர் வண்டல் அயரவும் முதியோர் அவை புகுப்பொழுதில் தம் பகை முரண் செலவும் முடங்காஞ்சி செம்மருதின் மடக்கண்ணமயில் ஆல பைம்பாகற் பழம் துணறிய செஞ்சுளை கனிமாந்தி அரைக்கரும்பின் அரிநெல்லின் இனக்களமர் இசை பெருக வரல் அடும்பின் இவர் பகன்றை தளிர்புன்கின் தாழ்காவின் நனைஞாலமோடு மரம் குழிய அவன் முனையின் அகன்று மாறி அவிழ்தளவின் அகந்தோன்றி நகுமுல்லை உகுத்தேருவி பொன்கொன்றை மணியா காயா நற்புறவின் நடை முனையின் சுரவழங்கும் இரும்பெருவளத்து இரவு அருந்திய இனநாரை பூம்புன்னை சினை சேப்பின் ஓங்கு திரை ஒலிவெறி. In these lines, the poet gives us a detailed description of the various assets of Chola kingdom. He records a very detailed description of various natural elements that he came across while returning back after receiving gifts from Karikaalan. The assets of Chola kingdom. The roars of the rolling ocean waves, the kingdom as wide across the ocean shores. Wide and immeasurable in every inch paddy stores, lush and tall swaying coconut groves, the farmers group with paddy silos, who serve with red grain rice for those darkest ravens that shun and fly homeward to shady Lukok Ceylon, that hold the hatchlings of tortoise saved. As kids building sandcastles noisily played, the elders chatted with differences as more under the widespread bent rosewood and Arjuna tree, while glorious fine-eyed peacocks danced free. Where huge jackfruits ripen in clusters, the scarlet fruit eaten till one dulls and falters, farmers bent harvesting cane and paddy, worked hand in hand as they chorused in unison. Goat's foot vines and rattle pods and jallops spread on. Low-lying cluttered beaches grow with buds of cassia and tiger claw and many more. If they bore you, just drift away towards golden jasmines and glory lilies, white bright smiling jasmines and strewn flowers of nut trees, strings of golden rains and sapphire blue memicelon, and that would soon bore you, so move on to where deadly sharks swim the dark oceans, where storks swooped to hunt for shrimps and rested on laurels and masts for you to glimpse, fearing the roaring sound of waves. What are the things that the poet noticed? Well, he says that since the kingdom is very vast, it ranges from midland to the shore of the ocean. So one can hear the rumbling waves of the ocean, which is quite far away. And there are several groves of coconut trees, several groves of mango trees. There are exotic wood trees like sandalwood, rosewood, laurels also. He says every inch that they move on, they will come across something new. They will have a variety of flowers, they will have a variety of fruit trees. And sometimes when they enter a part of town or village, they might notice that children would be playing freely on the streets. They'll be building sandcastles. They'll be chattering among themselves. And under the shades of the trees, elders would sit and chat amidst themselves, discussing without any differences in their class or creed. This is something very unique that happened only during the time of Sangam period. And he also gives a very detailed description about how peacocks freely stuttered across the streets. And he also has seen a lot of jackfruits, very ripe, burst open, and the peacocks freely peck on them to eat. He says that the jackfruits were very deep and dark in color, and the peacocks who fed on them were slightly dazed by the sweetness of the jackfruit. A lot more that it has to offer, And these are truly the assets that were found in the Chola kingdom. Now we know this is quite similar to another description that you might have come across in one of the famous novels that dealt with Chola king and kingdom. Yes, I am talking about Ponniyin Selvan. Now we know where Kalki Krishnamurti got his inspiration from. It is indeed from Porunaraatrupadai and the description by Mudattama Kanniyar. So with this, we shall move ahead in the next part. Thank you.